DJ Slam, DJ Stormy, DJ Tim Tom, and the birthday boy, DJ Heat. Admission is only $10 EC. Kicks off at 8 p.m. And that's not all. Get ready for loads of giveaways throughout the night. This is the event you don't want to miss. Mark your calendars and bring your friends for an unforgettable night of country and old school music. DJ Heat's Birthday Bash at biggest place in St Jacuqes, the only place to be on January 13th. This event is powered by Legal Sounds.
Be part of the best karaoke on the island as School Joints Disco in Victoria Schwazel presents Karaoke Fridays. It's happening every Friday night from 7 p.m. over at the Cool Joints Disco in Victoria Schwazel. Come sing your favorite tune and enjoy the best drink specials. The best karaoke singer wins 1 bottle of wine featuring Clear's karaoke team. The action doesn't stop there. Make your Sunday live more exciting as we present 12 to 12, the free country and western festival
12 to 12
featuring DJ Fatboy. Come dance to the best in country music from 12 to 12. Also enjoy the introduction special. All drinks $5 and $10. Be part of the excitement over at Cool Joints Disco in Victoria Schwazel. Don't just hear about it, be part of it.
I'm the other woman you know nothing about.
Coming soon, the same excellent Blue Select service in a new location at Daisy Avenue in Sanssouci, Castries. Thanks for your patience.
Superior Parts Master now open in Soufriere opposite the Soufriere Comprehensive Secondary School, right next to Supreme Tire Service. We sell a variety of new parts and accessories. If we don't have it in stock, we can get it for you. At Superior Parts Master, keeping you rolling is our business. Superior Parts Master, call us on telephone 284-1480. That's 284-1480.
www.shopmasseystoresSLU.com. Massey Stores online supermarket, available from 3 convenient stores: Massey Stores Supermarket, Rodney Bay, Latuni, and Gourmet. Shop and pay for your groceries online and collect curbside or have them delivered straight to your door. Shop now at www.shopmasseystoresSLU.com. Simple and convenient shopping, Souvenue island-wide.
So, this is goodbye. A professional one. A meticulous one. One with unique options. And total support. With multiple locations, we are focused on your hour of need. And so, this is the final goodbye. Be it traditional, at sea, or cremation, the Crick family will be here to help your family during life's most difficult moments. Crick's Funeral Home, telephone 452-2780 and 459-9212.
Well, that was easy. Get everything you need in one place. Great deals, best prices. At Quartz, you can find easy-to-use appliances and electronics, plus effortless furniture for every home at unbeatable prices. So get what you want now, pay now, or later with Ready Finance. Only at Quartz, bringing value home. Special conditions apply. Promotion ends January 23rd, 2024.
This is your giant step. This is your game plan. This is your dream. This is your stability. And this is your backup. With 2 locations which provide quality service from people you know and trust, this is your biggest fan. And this is your approval to a better life. Schwazel Cooperative Credit Union. Contact us today for
Good night. Welcome to 88.5 Soufriere FM. Tonight we have our first Let's Connect program for the year 2024. Today's date, Tuesday the 9th of January. We want to welcome everyone to a brand new year of Let's Connect programs. We have with us in studio our guest for tonight, Honorable Emma Hippolyte. We start off our program by greeting all our constituents, all our various communities. We want to say good night to all of you. Those of you joining us on live, we welcome you guys on our Facebook Live as well as our YouTube Live. Those of you tuned in through 88.5 Soufriere FM, good night to you. I am your host, Reniata D'Souza, and like I said, our guest this evening, Honorable Emma Hippolyte, already in studio with us. So we're going to give our live participants a moment to come on and get themselves situated, send their greetings, start greeting each other. We'll start greeting those of you who are in the chat, giving shout outs in a little bit. So let's get back to greeting our communities this evening. We want to send a greeting to the community of St Jacuqes. Tonight, good night to all of you in St Jacuqes, from Espérance, Boisden, Belvedere, St Philip, Mini, Mocha, all the various areas, Wavin, Claire. We want to say good night to all of you in St Jacuqes. Hope that your evening has been going good so far. We want to shout out our farmers in St Jacuqes. I've been getting a lot of you in the office. It's lovely to see you guys participating in our various programs. So good night to all our farmers. We want to say good night as we come down to Crestland. Good night to Zenon. Good night to you guys in New Development. Diamond. Good night to Diamond. Hope everybody there is safe. We want to say good night to those of you in the Soufriere town area. We want to say good night to Palmis, Forbenier. We want to say good night to Barons Drive, Sulphur Springs, Market Road, all our areas within all of Soufriere. I know I've missed quite a few. Etongs, Bouton, good night to you guys in Bouton. Special good night to our Bouton residents. We want to say good night to those of you in Belfort, those of you in Chateau Bel Air, in Fort Jalib. Trying to remember everybody, I don't want to forget anybody.
Deville.
Deville, good night to you guys in Deville.
Your people in Colobet.
Colobet, good night Colobet, good night to you. Mr. Leander, good night to you. Miss Ratty, good night to our Colobet people. Good night to you, Naya. Good night, good night, good night. Sorry for if I missed out on anybody else.
Town Extension.
Town Extension. Church Street, Boulevard Street,
Lenny's Hill.
Lenny's Hill, good night to you guys in Lenny's Hill. I want to send another shout out to Barons Drive. Barons Drive, big up Barons Drive. Good night to everybody. So welcome to Let's Connect, our first program for the night. Good night to all those of you on our live chat. Awesome. All right, so thank you, Michelle, thank you. All right, good night to you as well. All right, so tonight we're going to be giving you our latest updates in what's happening within Soufriere, within our government of St. Lucia, within the community's previous programs available, those that are happening now, those that are upcoming. And with us in studio, Honorable Emma Hippolyte will be giving us updates on the various community activities and events that have taken place for the new year so far, those that we have not had a chance to speak on since last year as well. So good night to you, Honorable Emma Hippolyte. Thank you for joining us on Let's Connect.
Good evening, Reniata. Good evening, Soufriere. Good evening, our Let's Connect family. The last time I was here, I think one of the, what I would say, invitations that we placed with you is to try to expand our listenership and viewership. So I'm really hoping that this evening we have some new persons listening to our program. It's important that we do this because we are using this medium to connect with you, to pass the information on. So we would greatly appreciate you bringing in new members in, so that it's not only you hearing from us in the studio, we want to hear from you as well. And I think that is what connecting is. Communicating with you, and communication is a two-way function. You communicating with us and we communicating with you. So I really hope this year, 2024, as we start the program, that our listenership, viewership will expand and that you will use that medium to communicate with us. I want to take this moment to wish all of you and all of Soufriere, all of St. Lucia, what I would say is a happy, joyful, peaceful, prosperous 2024. It is a leap year. A lot has happened at the beginning, but what I can say is that with God on our side, he promised that he's always with us. So let us put him first, and let us embrace the year as it starts, and let us put our best foot forward.
Right. Happy New Year to everybody once again. Those of you who are joining us live, those of you, especially Miss Emmanuel from Brooklyn, thank you so much for joining us. We want to shout out as well Miss Fancy Bowens, always keeping it locked on from St. Vincent, and those of you always locked on in Soufriere, the diaspora in Soufriere, and all around St. Lucia as well. Good night to everybody and Happy New Year. Okay, so our first activity that we would like to highlight took place just before the end of 2023. We had a 4-in-1 day.
We did 3 because
we had a jam-packed day where we had many of the government officials and various ministers, government ministers here with us in Soufriere to celebrate the grand launching of the new vendor booths at Palmis and also at the Soufriere market. Can you give us a few highlights from that day and those activities?
You're correct, Renata, because what we're trying to do is to focus a bit on Soufriere. Not only focus a bit on Soufriere, but to allow the Prime Minister in particular and the ministers that have responsibility for various programs. For example, the Soufriere Market project falls under the Ministry of Tourism as part of the Community Tourism Program, as well as the booth, the Palmis Road booth. It falls under the Ministry of Tourism. So we wanted, and it was important and critical that personnel from the Ministry of Tourism were present at that official launch of that program. Then we also had the housing program that we have started. We had the roofing in Palmis, the removal of asbestos both in Palmis and Market Road, and then we had the housing program which we had started in Barons Drive. And they were funded by different programs. Even we had part of that program funded under our CDP program, which is part of the Ministry of Economic Affairs and the Taiwanese government. We had a portion of it being funded under the housing program, which is under Minister Richard Frederick and the housing program. And then we had a part of it being funded strictly by the Prime Minister when I made special intervention. So we wanted to bring them in, have a ceremony to do that. And that is why we had all our, good percentage of our ministers present in Soufriere in December. We had as well, that same day, the official opening of the Bouton Community Center. Bouton had, persons would know, Bouton had a wooden structure where both the roof and the flooring was compromised. And very clearly when we were doing throughout our campaign, they asked that we look at the community center. When we started at the beginning doing a costing for renovation, in the end we felt we just better put a new structure in. So we had to do this official opening of that. And as well, this falls under another ministry, which is the Ministry of Equity. So we had to bring these different persons in, and we were extremely pleased at the fact that those ministers, and we did it on a Wednesday, when the Wednesday is usually their office day, their constituency day, and they put all of that aside and came to Soufriere to give Soufriere the support and the visibility that we felt was so critical for us in delivering these programs. Now, you might see that we had the official opening, the booths are already assigned, and what is happening now is just for those persons to sign the contract with and the Soufriere Council, Constituency Council. They are responsible for both the market booths and the booths at Palmis Road. So we have not given the keys to the individual persons, operators, simply because we want this legal part of it to be in place. They need to know what their responsibilities are, what their rent is, so that everybody starts knowing what their responsibilities are. But now the booths are already assigned, and we are going to do that. The Bouton one as well, I think what we have to do there is to have another community meeting up in Bouton. That's what we're going to do. And then to try to put the basic furnitures in the Bouton Community Center. So these two programs are now completed. The other program that we wanted to officially open on that day that we deferred was the extension to the Soufriere Comprehensive Secondary School. And that official opening is at tomorrow morning at about 9:30. And it's important again because, as you know, the Minister for Education, when we were planning the official launch, was out of country, and we really felt that it was important for him to be present. In addition, we felt that it would have been good to do it with the school's children present. So that is taking place tomorrow, God willing.
Awesome, great. All right, so I want to congratulate the Bouton community once again on the grand opening of their community center, and I have seen a flyer for the Bouton Youth Group, who will be organizing some tutoring services in Bouton. So they're already getting the ball rolling in terms of what they're going to be putting in place for the community of Bouton in terms of assisting school students and getting the community development up. So we want to say congratulations to Bouton once again, and to the newly opened booths both at Palmis and at the Soufriere Market. Congratulations to the upcoming vendors, and we as a community look forward to being able to patronize and support each other in those new ventures. So wonderful developments for Soufriere, and tomorrow the Soufriere Comprehensive Secondary School is going to be having a brand new extension opened in their school, and congratulations to the students, and we hope that you, and we know that you will be putting it to good use, and going to be looking forward to even more accolades for the Soufriere Comprehensive Secondary School. All right, so this year 2024 we have so many wonderful things coming up. The Prime Minister gave his address last week, and wonderful news, wonderful things coming out from that speech. We'll touch on some of those highlights in a moment. And also in 2024 we had announced previously that we would be commencing with some programs within the Soufriere area, chiefly the NRDF accounting course, which has officially begun, and first class took place, introductory class took place yesterday evening from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. virtually, and the next class will be a virtual one as well, and then an in-person class. And so far I do believe there are 47 students participating in this course from Soufriere. So
I really want to commend the participants and to encourage them to stay the course and participate fully, because this is a very important investment in their own career. So you do this 6 weeks, 6 weeks?
5 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, 6 weeks course introductory to accounting. You get yourself a certificate, and it provides you the opportunity for interview to be working at this accounting center, and if not there, other places. So please use that moment to equip yourself with that certificate. It is an investment in yourself, and that is one of the things that I've always said, that in Soufriere I see development not only as structures like developing the port and so on, but you also need to develop the people, because if the people are not developed, they cannot be in a position to benefit from the physical investments. So we need to, my program is to work both with individuals, with the persons, so that they can develop themselves, provide them with the opportunity for training, improve their skills, so that they can get gainful and meaningful employment. That is critical for our development. So we have spoken on this, and you said you have about 47 persons.
Yes, well, I am not sure if it will climb, but because sometimes persons miss the first class, but there, as far as I can say, for now, 47. The number might go up, it also might go down, but I don't think it was gonna go down. I think it might go up actually. So I think there was an estimate of 50 persons to start off with. So we'll see. We might, but I don't think it's going to go past 50. But between 47 and 50 for now.
Okay, and at the end of it, I think the last week we have what you call some customers.
Customer service.
Yeah, training to go with it as well.
Those that make it through the accounting.
Yes.
Will then will move on to that next segment of training.
Okay.
All right. So that course is being provided by NRDF, and there was a site visit conducted today of the facilities that will be used for the both online portion and in-person portion of the course. And I must also commend the Soufriere Comprehensive Secondary School. They received accolades that the setup that they have was very, very high tech, and looking forward. The instructor is looking forward to being in the classroom at the Soufriere Comprehensive Secondary School. So kudos to the school on that achievement. They have set a standard in terms of facilities for that type of training. Well,
and maybe we need to take this moment as well to thank the principal for agreeing, Ms. Combi, for agreeing to give us permission to use the school for this training. And I've always said the school should be an extension of the community. It should be open to the community. The community should be, apart from the students, adults should use the facility, because a school is an investment by the government in the people, and we should open it up. Those infrastructures are there. It is for the students during the day. The community should use it in the evening, so that again you develop the people in the community. So I'm very grateful to Ms. Combi for allowing us to use the school for this training program.
I also want to shout out the staff who assisted us with the site visit today, chiefly Mrs. Caitlin Allain, as well as Mrs. Courtney John and Mr. William. I don't want to butcher his name, Mr. William. So these three individuals were very instrumental in our site visit today, as well as at the Soufriere ICT Center. We want to give a shout out to Mr. Stanislas as well. He was also very instrumental in assisting today.
Okay, very good.
All right. So in terms of upcoming courses, I'm not sure if you've been noticing, since you had the both master's course in Soufriere, other communities have been launching.
Everybody has been asking me.
Yes, I saw a flyer today for another course. I know there was one in Labrie a few weeks back, and there's another one coming up in February.
Yeah,
I don't think it's in Labrie. I'll have to check the flyer.
I think Joachim Castries Southeast had asked me, so I'm not sure whether they're doing one.
So it's catching. Right now, it seems to become a very popular program. So various communities have been initiating it.
I think maybe in a subsequent program, what you need to do is to bring the community, update the community on the persons who have qualified, what they're doing, whether they're working, what is happening to them. I think that is important as well.
The last check-in I did with them, they were supposed to go to Castries to do, I think, their final application, I think. I'm not too sure, I'll have to verify.
Yes, because
they were in the process, those that are still, I think the last person had to go and get their medical. So I need to make sure that all that has been sorted, and everyone should have gone and applied for their police record. So I will touch base with them, and we will give an update on where they at in the various job searches and acquisitions of jobs. So we'll check in with them and report back.
Okay.
Okay. In terms of other courses, I do think that NRDF has intention, or has spoken of having intention of continuing with this type of course availability within Soufriere, the Soufriere Basin. I think there might be a braiding course coming up in the works, if I'm not mistaken. braiding. I think it's braiding or hairdressing. There's so persons who are interested in that. We're going to try and get the information for you. I think we're searching for a venue to house that particular course. So that might be the next one on the board for 2024.
Okay.
All right. So I just want to give a shout out to those of you in the chat right now. Those of you joining us late, we're here in studio with Honorable Emma Hippolyte, giving us our first preview of what to expect for 2024. And we want to welcome those of you on our live chat. We want to say good night to you, Michelle McCartney. Good night to you, Miss Emmanuel, coming to us from Brooklyn. We want to say good night to you, Miss Philomena Lamontagne. Good night, good night. Also, good night to Alvon Joseph. Thank you so very much for joining us. And we want to encourage those of you, please participate in our live chats. We do expect as much participation as possible. And remember, we might just be giving our giveaway this week. We had not had a chance to do those we wanted to do in December. So remember, we have giveaways of $50, was it $50 vouchers? $50 grocery vouchers. So you need to be participating, you need to pay attention. We want to see new names. So you need to bring persons, share the chat, share the live, let persons know that the program is on, and so that they can get the opportunities to be able to enter the giveaway for the $50 grocery voucher. All right. Good night to you, Mrs. William. Thanks for joining us on our show. Once again, everyone, you're listening to Let's Connect on 88.5 Soufriere FM with our in-studio guest, Honorable Emma Hippolyte. So we did mention earlier on that the Prime Minister, Honorable Philippe J. Pierre, had made his New Year's address, and we wanted to touch on some of those things. Perhaps I should see if the audience can tell us some of the highlights before
Yes,
we
I think
touch
so.
on it. So that's going to be our first assignment. Let's see those of you who pay attention and who are listening in, send in your highlights of the Prime Minister's New Year's address into our live chat, and you may just get a chance to win a $50 voucher. So we're going to leave that for a little while. I'm going to give you maybe 5 minutes. 5 minutes to post in the Facebook live chat highlights that you remember from Honorable Philippe J. Pierre's New Year's address. Okay?
And I think you just mentioned one other thing. You indicated that Avalon
On the live chat, Avalon
from Fort Jacques.
Avalon, can you let us know if you're from Fort Jacques? Please post in the chat if this is Avalon Joseph from Fort Jacques. I'm not sure. It could be. I don't know if there's many Alvons.
Let him see if he's
Avalon, Miss Honorable Emma Hippolyte is calling on you. Let us know if this is the person she thinks it is. So Alvon, or if somebody is next to Alvon, let him know that his name is being called on live on air. All right.
I think while we go to the second issue, maybe we needed to take a moment to send greetings to the executive of our constituency group, and various community leaders for the work that they have been doing, to thank them for it and to encourage them to chart the course, engage the community, because what we are doing there is serving the community, and they are almost a go-between to get information on the community. So we need to thank them for that and to encourage them to do a lot more this 2024.
All right, so that is the challenge issued to the Soufriere constituency group. You know yourselves. This is the challenge by Honorable Emma Hippolyte for this year, for us to do more and to rise to the occasion in regards to our community.
Community representation is critical for us.
Okay.
One of the things I think while we wait that we can speak about is Project Hope, Reniada.
Oh yes, should be launching.
Yes, we will.
This month?
We're trying to launch this month. But yes. So everything depends. I know that they're supposed to have had a meeting today So we don't have the results of that meeting yet, but that will determine the readiness for a launch. But Project Hope, to inform our listeners, Project Hope is a project for our young persons, and what we are trying to do is to try to equip them with the right skills, so that they can either gain employment or start their own businesses. And for us to, I think one of the key things about it is that it comes with a mentorship program where persons who are already in business have volunteered to provide advice and handholding to our younger persons. So that's a program we really want to launch. It's taken us a little time. We've engaged quite a bit of young persons. We engaged the young men first, and it's because of this engagement that we had our boat captains program. But there are a lot of other things that the young men have requested. So we want to launch that program officially, Project Hope, so that apart from the young men, we have engaged young women as well. And that is our movement. That project is our way of ensuring that we hold the hands of our unemployed young persons to give them a start in life. It is whatever we're going to assist them with, whether then we afterwards we get them into the youth economy program or other programs, but it's a commitment that we are making to work with the unemployed young persons in the constituency. So those of you listening, if you know any young person that is not working and that is looking, that requires skills, because you know we have quite a few young persons who are looking for work, and sometimes we are getting the jobs, but they are not qualified to take those jobs because the persons are saying either they do not have the experience, or they do not have the qualification, or they do not have the skills. So that project is trying to ensure if we can train 4 plumbers, if we can train some persons in terms of maintaining fridges, refrigeration technicians, if we can train others to be carpenters or joiners. So that's the program we're trying to do. If we can train others how to do industrial cleaning. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that the young people must be bold, must be have confidence in themselves, and we will assist them in terms of what they want to do. I think more than anything else, never before have we seen a government reaching out, I mean, to, reaching out to the people to say, this is your moment. I mean, today, I was at my ministry, and what we did 2 things. I met some students from the University of Vermont, and they've been coming here, I mean, up to, I think this time it's the 20th anniversary of coming into St. Lucia, and dealing with different projects for us. And so it's a partnership between the Ministry of Commerce and the university. But the rest of the day, what we did was to visit MSME beneficiaries, persons who have benefited from the MSME grant loan program. We started, I think we had to visit 7, I think we saw 6 of those persons today. We went in to see where they are. It's interesting, some persons, at least 2 persons, had similar programs. At the moment, we've given them the equipment. They are operating from their sitting rooms in their homes. But that's a new business they have there. And as long as they continue to work with us openly and be open to the training that is provided at the ministry, then you will see those businesses growing. Give them the support that is required. So we saw that. We saw somebody in fish processing and packaging. And yes, and you could see he was so excited, saying the sales for between Christmas and New Year's was fantastic. So we are it's a government assisting. We went into another place we had visited before, and we can see the movement. She started small, but now she's ready for export. She had her what do you call this, dehydrator. She has her equipment ready, with support from Export St. Lucia, ready with labeling and everything else. It is a government working with the people on the ground to improve their lives. So I want Soufriere to understand that you are part of St. Lucia. Do not sit by. Get up. You have quite a few persons within the MSME loan program, Renata. You help quite a bit. I've asked that we get a report on Soufriere specific, so we know where all the applicants are. Quite a few seem to have received the grants already, but to identify where all the applicants are, and so that we understand what that program is for us.
Okay, so we've heard on the updates in the various areas from Honorable Emma
Project
Hippolyte,
Hope.
and we have asked for persons in the chat to give us some of the highlights from the Prime Minister's New Year's address. One person, that is Didi, said that they did not know that the Prime Minister had an address, so they're thanking us for letting them know. So for persons who were unaware, we want to let you know the Prime Minister's New Year's address. You can reach out to me for the direct link to it, but it is available on YouTube as well as the Government of St. Lucia Facebook page. But we can send you the link directly. If you need it, just reach out to me. I can make it available to you. It should be on some of you belong in our chat group. It should be in there. So just scroll. You should find it. But I am willing to send it directly to you upon request. Okay, so you can reach out to the Soufriere Constituency Office phone at 731-3234. You can send a WhatsApp to that number, 731-3234, and I can send you the link directly so that you can get to watch the Prime Minister's address. Okay, it's about 16 minutes long. There's also a copy of the the wording. If you prefer to read it instead of listening to it, we can also make that available to you. Alright, so two persons in our chat in the 5 minutes we gave have given their highlights. So Mr. Emmanuel said he spoke about livable wage later in the year. We can touch on that a little bit. Let me see if I can find it in the speech where he spoke about it so that I can read his direct wording for you. It is... Yes, minimum and equal wage livable legislation. The Minimum and Equal Wage Committee has submitted a draft report to the Cabinet of Ministers. We expect to have further consultations with the private sector on the report. We expect to be able to implement a livable wage for workers across sectors in St. Lucia later this year. So Ms. Emmanuel is correct. He did speak on livable wage. Our second posting said that one important topic the Prime Minister spoke on was providing affordable housing for middle and low income households. So while I search for that in the speech to make sure it's there, Honorable Emma Hippolyte, what can you tell us about the minimum and equal wage livable legislation?
This is draft legislation, but you see, we have to ensure that we have what you call serious stakeholder conversation on it. Because of inflation and everything else, we all know that we have to adjust wages. But because of the implication of higher wages on business and the economy, we need to ensure the business community who are employing the people are on board with us. So we need to have conversations with them, because you do not want to increase your livable wage and then half of your people was sent home. That's not what you want. So we have to work with the business community. We have to do the analysis to ensure that whatever level that we have presented, is one that is sustainable. So that is critical.
That is a very important topic, and we I don't wish to be a minister right now, I must say, because that is the type of thing that is going to cause persons to look at me a little too closely. But definitely have to put your heads together and, you know, come to a decision that is suitable for everyone involved, in both the employer, the employee, the communities, the various businesses, as well as the island on a whole. So I look forward to hearing more on this topic as the year 2024 progresses. All right, so as Ms. McKechnie said, that the Prime Minister spoke on affordable housing. He said on the housing development, we expect major private and public investments in housing development with a special focus on providing affordable housing for low and middle income earners while paying special attention to public servants. All right, so from this statement, what can we expect coming out of the housing sector for 2024?
Well, just exactly that. With special emphasis on public servants would mean that government would have to do an analysis of the wages of public servants, do a survey in terms of those who have housing and at what level you pitch this housing, because civil servants, at least their jobs appear to be more permanent. But at the same time, you want to give them a program that is attractive enough, that a percentage of the house is too attractive enough to cause them to want to own their own homes. That is what is important. So I'm certain that there's quite a bit of work happening in terms of data analysis to know at what level you pitch that. Is it do they want single homes for single persons, or do you want homes for family units? That type of thing. That type of research must be done so that when you present the program, it is one that your units are sold. You do not want to build units that are standing there.
That information should be what we get out of the census, right? So the
census itself should
yes.
also give you some information on that.
All right. So Ms. Dana Prevost said she gave a few of them. She gave social policies, business support, and job creation, St Jude's Hospital. So under job creation, I know we can touch base on the Youth Economy Agency. I want to make sure I get the one for St Jude's, so I'm searching for that. Yes, I have St Jude's here. And he did speak on job creation, so I have those statements here. So let me just read that quickly. So first off, St Jude Hospital. We will continue work on the construction of St Jude Hospital to deliver a well-equipped hospital to the public. Work on 4 buildings is expected to be completed by June 2024. Work on the other buildings will commence shortly after. All right, so in terms of St. Jude's, we are expecting to see first phase 2024 June, and that is a big relief, a sigh of relief throughout the entirety of St. Lucia when the Prime Minister gave that announcement. I am quite certain. I could feel the exhale, like we were holding a collective breath to get that information. We got a date, and that we can look forward to seeing something coming out of the woodwork finally. Any statement on St. Jude that you care to share?
Well, for example, as you know, from the time we visited, and we need to thank the last loan we got from the Saudi fund to assist us. So now we focus on getting that completed. And it's important for us to do so because, you see, after persons have waited for all those years, it caused them to lack trust, lack faith in government, and not only that they have very poor or inadequate service, especially the physical plant at the stadium, but you need to know that we've matched that with some excellent service from the nurses and doctors at St. Jude, and also quite a lot of patience on their part in terms of working in that environment. We went there for what we thought was a few years. Now it's almost, 13 or so years since since they are in that situation. And the patient as well, persons who are going in there every day, deserve better as St. Lucians. So we really want people in the south, people in Soufriere, people who are using this hospital to know that we have a government that is laser focused on completing that project and improving healthcare in general. When you think of not only in St. Jude's, but as a government, we are now looking at universal healthcare, and we have delivering some of the packages gradually. It is a government that is focused on improving healthcare. Healthcare is costly, and that is why we have that 2.5% levy to assist us both in terms of healthcare delivery and the security of the country. Because no matter how much progress we make as a people, if we are insecure, if there's violence, if there is shooting and everything else continually, our economy cannot grow. And consequently, we need to deal both with healthcare and security one time through the 2.5% levy. So it is a levy that is extremely important for us. And what we have done as a government, persons will realize that as long as when the Prime Minister is speaking in terms of healthcare, or the Minister for Health, when he speaks on healthcare, we always tell you, this is what we have done with the monies that we have collected from the 2.5% levy. The security focus is working with the police to equip them, to train them again, and to bring them to a different level so that they can provide the protection that is needed to us as a people. So these are important issues for us. On the issue, I would like to speak a little on the issue of inflation. Because, you know, as a ministry, about 3 weeks ago, sometime early December, we had a symposium on inflation. And persons may know, put it simple, inflation is when you have high cost of goods and services, and especially where the cost of these goods and services are increasing at a more rapid rate than your income. So that you have inflation. It is measured in different ways in the economy, but the issue is when you have high inflation, it has a negative effect on persons' take-home pay, the money that you have, and what you can buy with it. So, for example, our listeners here and general public would be commenting on how they see the prices on the supermarket shelf increasing. So I think the conversation we started having about 3 weeks ago is to explain to the public what inflation is and what is causing inflation. If our listeners here listen to other international news, CNN, any of the international, BBC, every government in the world at the moment is fighting inflation. We have inflation throughout. And what caused it? First, it's the result of COVID. Because with COVID, you had a huge challenge. Persons were sick, so demand was not matching supply, which is the demand for goods, where people had demand having the purchasing power to pay for it, and the production of the goods, which is the supply end, the two were not in sync. So COVID affected that demand supply chain. And as a result, what you found as well, apart from large numbers of persons dying, you had firms that could not deliver products at the right time. And because of the economy of the world as well, what we call now the supply chain, where if a product is being manufactured, for example, in St. Lucia or in the US, the inputs into it comes from different parts of the world. We don't have, for example, a product that all the components, all the parts is made in one place. So COVID impacted that negatively. So persons could not produce what they were accustomed producing because they couldn't get this item from China, they couldn't get this item from Japan, they couldn't get this item from the US. So everything went into a tailspin. So that impacted, that caused inflation. That's one of the main reasons we had inflation. The second reason why we had a lot of inflation, we have the inflation that we have, you have two wars. We had the Russia-Ukraine war. And I mean, before that, maybe even myself, maybe very few people would have heard about Ukraine and the importance of Ukraine as a food producing nation. But the war, that's what happened. Half of your wheat that was coming from Ukraine was impacted because of the war. You couldn't get containers. Russia preventing Ukraine from shipping from certain ports. So that war caused problems for us. It impacted the price of fuel. Again now, that is compounded by the Israel-Palestine disaster that is happening there now. It's impacting it as well, because there again, if you listen again to the news, based on that war, vessels that were going into one route to get to their destination have to turn around and go to different routes.
Which means they're taking longer.
They're taking longer, and by taking longer, the price of the good, the freight part of that good is a lot higher, and that impacts the price of the goods. We are saying all of that so you understand when you see the good reach St. Lucia, the inflation part of it is already there. It's not anything as a government that we can do. What we have attempted to do to cushion it and to make it easier for you, the public, the government, for example, we had what you call a 6% service charge on goods at the port. And one way, what we did as a government is to remove that 6% service charge so that the goods becomes a little cheaper for you. We also went in and took a policy decision to subsidize flour in a big way. Government of St. Lucia is purchasing flour at $144 a bag and was selling it now, after things have stable, $85 to our bakers. So look at that gap there, a subsidy of almost $60 or so on every bag of flour the government is paying for you, John Public. Another issue where the government had to subsidize is our cooking gas, especially the 20-pound and 22-pound cylinder. Government have been subsidizing that in the past, maybe at a lower subsidy, but now it had reached a point where government was paying up to $20 a you on every cylinder of gas that you purchase. So when you pay $40, government already paid $20 a you. So anytime you cook a food, government made it cheaper for you to cook that food. So I think these are things that we need to appreciate and understand. And I mean, up to today, when I was speaking to the students, University of Vermont, I was saying one of the key things I would like us to have that conversation for persons to start thinking what it is that I can do to manage myself a little better in our homes, what it is we can do. What about our little kitchen garden? The space that you have in the yard. Just start thinking what it is you can put in it. Not only to beautify it, but to plant something, a plantain tree, a banana tree, a macaboo tree, to put some celery there, to put some parsley there. These are the things that we need to think about, because it will do three things. It's going to reduce the amount you spend in the supermarket or in the market because you have it in the yard. Secondly, you would have it without pesticide and fertilizer, so you have a more wholesome food because you know what you plant. And thirdly, what you are doing, you are keeping yourself physically active, and that too improves your health. So it is a win-win situation for you. So really that conversation we should be having going forward is what it is you can do in your homes to ride this difficult inflationary period that is all over the world. There are a lot of other things you can do. How do you encourage your young persons in terms of our consumption patterns? When you look in terms of YouTube and so on, for example, hydroponics, how do you plant vegetables not using water and not soil? So you look at the space that you have and say, what it is people do a lot of agriculture on their rooftops. So, on the wall, a lot of things that we have to do differently. So I'm just saying to open our eyes. We have a government that wants to work with you, that is doing all it can to work with you, but I want you to start opening your eyes to see how best you can improve your lot, how best you can stretch that dollar that you have.
Right. So as Honorable Emma Hippolyte has highlighted, we have a lot of work we can do and a lot of work to be done. And in the Prime Minister's address, we have touched on issues such as St Jacuqes Hospital, social policies, business support, job creation, also road rehabilitation, and Urinor Airport, and also issues regarding GPH, Global Port Holding. So for those of you who were unaware of those things being highlighted by the Prime Minister in his 2024 New Year's address, please take an opportunity to listen to his speech, or like I said, you can get the typed version that you can read in case if that would be preferable. You can reach out to us at the Soufriere Constituency Office at 731-3234 and request a copy if you have not gotten access to it. All right, we want to say good night to Anthony Mondesi, who has been giving us quite a lot of comments in the chat. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get to everything because we only have 2 minutes left on the program. So Mr. Anthony Mondesi, he said Soufriere needs something like a fish Saturday, especially for the vendors and to give the town some much needed vibes. Okay, and he also is anxious to know when is GPH getting off the ground, and also he commented on the old town hall and we should be getting, and that we should try to get a new administration complex. All right, so lots of ideas here from Mr. Mondesi. We want to thank you so very much for your participation this evening. You've been very, very participant. I'm hoping I didn't miss any comments. I'm trying to make sure I get everything.
So I want to
Miss Camila Jean as well joining us in the chat.
So I would like to comment on what Mr. Mondesi has said. I want to inform him that the old town hall is being looked at. I will be giving more details on it later, but definitely the old town hall is being looked at. What is the other thing he said?
GPH, he wanted an update, but that's
to me, he said something before GPH.
Town hall, GPH.
Oh, the Saturday.
Fish Friday, yes,
so
Saturday.
that too is also being looked at by the events committee. So that is already on. So we will be rolling out with more details after the committee has presented how we and when we start that particular program.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
Right,
that both the
that's
town
good news
hall
for us.
and the Saturday into Sunday events. So we are working on that. GPH, I do not want to put a date that I want an official date from GPH. I know I had conversation with the Minister for Investment, that is the minister who's engaging and talking to them, and I know there's a meeting Thursday, God willing. I'm not sure what the end result is going to be, but there's a meeting on Thursday. When we have a date, we will announce it. Only to say that two parties, government and GPH, continue to be in conversation in terms of the project. I know we are almost running out of time, but I would like to mention two quick things. Government is working on a semi-professional league for football. So I really that's what I really wanted to know, whether it is the gentleman from Foshashak that is there.
Oh, he never responded. He
So
just came to say hi and left.
Left.
He never
So
responded.
I really want those of us listening to...
Yeah, he did not. Yeah, after after he said good night. He didn't
So
know
we
about
really, I know there's a semi-professional league for football. I know government, this is something that is going to impact a lot of our young persons, especially our young footballers. So I really want them to pay attention to this. This is one of the things that we're working on feverishly. The second thing I want to discuss is that Independence this year will be celebrated in Soufriere. So I really want to prepare the community of Soufriere for being the host of Independence Celebration 2024. I think we have, the other thing we didn't speak on, Renata, is the $1,500 government income support for
yes,
COVID.
I touched on it briefly at the beginning when I shouted out the farmers, because the farmers have been coming in. The farmers, I want to give them a special shout out. The farmers have been coming in to secure their assistance,
and you've been helping them file.
We've been getting there. We're getting there with the farmers, and I think the fishermen have also begun. The fisheries is assisting them. So the fishermen are getting this sorted out as well.
What about the vendors?
A few of the market vendors have come, a handful, but not many. I'm not sure, maybe it's possible that they've gone and gotten their assistance.
Or to the IT center?
Office. They've probably maybe gone directly to the access center, but I've been mostly getting farmers. Yes. So big up to the farmers, the market vendors, and the fishermen who have been coming to get their assistance. There was one fisherman, I unfortunately, I never got his name, and he did not have enough patience for me to try and explain to him, because I did not understand what he was asking me. At first I thought he was referring to the boatmaster's course initially, because he asked for a fisherman's form. So I did not realize that's what he wanted. So I'm hoping if he's listening, or if anybody is listening and can have any fisherman friends that maybe started questioning about that assistance, you can direct them to us, or to the fisheries, or to the access center. Or if you know of anybody who you might have heard asking questions about it, we're here to answer the questions. I do believe that the deadline was extended again.
It's the end of January.
To me, I saw an announcement today that it was extended again.
No, end of January.
Oh, okay, because I when I heard the announcement, I thought, hey, they extended it again. I thought it was end
No,
of
the
January.
minister, I think I was just listening to the news before coming here, and he said so far they have received 4,700 applications now. So we are just saying, persons, if you think you qualify, please get your application in the door. Come in and get your application in the door.
All right, so deadline remains January 31st, 2024. So don't hesitate to come in and get that done. Okay? So we want to say good night to all those of you who joined us on our live chat, those of you on Facebook and on YouTube. Oh, we have to announce a winner for the... we only had 3 persons who said something during the 5-minute allotment, but several commented afterwards. So how should we... should it be the person who gave the most, or the person who did it first? Or the one, or whoever was the newest
So
person,
what
first time we heard from them.
What you have the information on the, so how many persons in all? 3?
3 of them. Yes.
So then just give them free vouchers.
All right. So congratulations.
So it's encouraging them to participate in the program.
So congratulations to Miss Emmanuel, to Miss Michelle McKetney, and to Miss Dana Prevo for you have just won yourself a $50 grocery voucher. So please send me, I have Michelle's information, but Miss Dana Prevo and Miss Emmanuel, I don't want to butcher your first name, I'm sorry, I don't want to try and pronounce it and I say it wrong. So please send me a message at 758-731-3234 so that we can get in touch with you for your voucher. Alright, thank you and good night to all those of you on our program tonight. You've been listening to Let's Connect with your host,
Share the word.
and with Honorable Emma Hippolyte. We are here every Tuesday, 8 p.m. starting from today, first show for 2024. So don't hesitate to log on with us. And if you're new, you get an opportunity to win a grocery voucher if you answer our questions, if you participate in our chat. Alright, once again, thank you, Honorable Emma Hippolyte. Final words, final statement, shout outs.
Well, again, I want to wish all our listeners and all of Soufriere a peaceful and prosperous 2024. Let us work together to transform. We didn't speak about our Kudme Soufriere, but I think that too was a landmark event that others want to follow. We want to make this an annual event. We have our independence coming up, God willing. We have a few other programs coming up, but I just want you to listen to the program. I want you to participate and to encourage persons to participate in the community development. It is when we work together that we can transform this community. We want to thank all of you who have been participating and to encourage you to continue putting your best foot forward for St. Lucia. Thank you.
All right. For Miss Emmanuel, the number once again, 758-731-3234, or you can reach out to us on our Facebook page, Soufriere Constituency Group. All right. So 731-3234. Okay, and I'm seeing the messages. I will pass them on to Honorable Hippolyte. Thank you so very much, everyone. We want to thank you once again for joining us on our Let's Connect program.
0.5 Soufriere FM.
Sound of it,